Martin, come forward, please. Miss Martin, why were you late this morning?
I was here this morning, but I left to go get a paper that I had from the rehab to give to the judge.
Okay. So it's important that you're here. Make sure you check in with the bailiff. Don't leave until somebody knows you're here and then something happens.
Hold on, I checked in.
Okay. With who?
The black, well,
She was here, she left.
Okay. All right. So it's important that you stay. Okay. So this is you have 3 cases, Miss Martin. Let me get them pulled up. In cause number 24, DCCR 0247, you're charged with theft of property with previous convictions from October 27th of 2023. In cause number 24, DCCR 0248, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, state jail felony from October 1st of 2023. And in cause number 23, DCCR 1850, you're charged with theft of property with previous convictions from July 14th of 2023. And so since you've made bond in all of your cases, have you had an opportunity to try to hire a lawyer?
no ma'am, I was appointed a court-appointed attorney.
Right.
And I tried to reach out to her, called her, and just last week, she called me and told me she wouldn't be able to represent me because, I guess, I was able to make bond or something.
So here's what happens is she's technically still your lawyer, but now that you've made bond on all 3 of these cases, I expect you to try to hire your own lawyer. All right. So I'm going to reset all of your cases for about 30 days to give you some time to try to hire someone. If you get someone hired before the next court date, bring the reset notice that you get today to that lawyer. They'll tell you what you need to do. If you're unable to hire someone before the next court date, then I'm ordering you to visit with at least 3 lawyers. They all charge different amounts. They all have different payment plans. Bring me back the names of the lawyers that you've talked to when you come back so that I know you're trying, and we'll discuss options. If you don't do that, then when you come back, you run the risk of me raising your bond in all of your cases for not following that court order, and you would have to go back to jail. Do you understand? And what did you bring?
It's like, I'm sorry. I went to the revived rehab, and they were giving me the paper to give to the judge, let them know that I still had a bail available because they released me on Friday till all my court documents were done.
Okay. So you were staying there before?
Yes, I checked in on Monday.
Last week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So did you stay clean this weekend, or you
I'm not gonna lie, I tried, but it was hard.
have a seat in the jury box? Let me get you tested.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I don't have it yet. Okay, so you tested positive for cocaine, which you said you admitted to doing over the weekend, right? So, Miss Martin, you're obviously charged with 3 felonies. Those indictments allege numerous prior offenses. You know that you shouldn't be using drugs while you're waiting to come to court. Obviously, there's an issue, but it's an issue that makes me uncomfortable for the safety of everyone and yourself that you're not going to reoffend if I leave you out. And so it is a violation of your bond conditions in all of your cases for you to use. So what I'm going, and I understand you showed me the letter, but
Can you please read it? When I come back,
it's, well, here's the thing. Not today. Not today. I can't. It makes, I understand. Listen, you take a breath and dry them up, okay? I'm not saying you're not going to get some opportunity, but today, in order for me to ensure the safety of you and everyone else around, I'm going to find that you violated the conditions of your bond in all 3 of your felony cases, and I'm going to raise your bond in each of your cases to, what are they set at now? Let's see, hold on. I'm going to raise your bonds in each of your cases to $20,000 in each case. A condition of the bond in each of your cases, if you make it, is that you have to have a drug patch on at all times. And you would have 24 hours from the time you're released from custody to get that drug patch on. You will be appointed an attorney, or the attorney, Ms. Holmes, will remain your attorney. She'll be out there to visit with you and see what your options are, and get back with me. So you can go back with the bailiff.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have another court, so how do they make these registered? I'm supposed to go to, Judge Holmes.
When? Today?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll let them know. Okay.
I'm representing her in Judge Holmes' court.
Okay, they can, probably just reset that one if you'll just let them know, unless they want to bring her down. Probably the easier thing to do would be to just let them know that she tested positive and was taken into custody today.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please come to the floor. Mindy.
Ma'am,
All right, Mr. Johnson, you are wanted out of Rutherford, Tennessee for violation of a protective order. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir? Okay, we wish you the best of luck. Now, is it Mr. Damon?
Damon?
Damon. So it's Damon is your last name.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Damon, you are wanted out of, I think it's Sacramento, right?
Thanks, Judge. He's wanted for robbery and minor violating laws of defining crime. But because he was a juvenile at the time of the offense and a juvenile court has jurisdiction in Sacramento County, is that under the ICJ, he's not eligible for the bond because it is the equivalent to the adult interstate compact agreement. However, because he is an adult now, if he signs a waiver, just as any other non-minor would, is that it would comply with the ICJ for waiving. However, if he refuses extradition, then we will requisition the demanding jurisdiction to come get him the similar way that we would for a governor's warrant. But it will go through the ICJ system and not through this typical.
It's not going to.
Because it was one of those, it's an unusual part because they're supposed to be detained in the juvenile separate, but because he committed an offense as an adult, he was originally held in the adult detention center, which is appropriate because when he was charged.
Yeah, but is it one of those issues where the compact gets involved and
it is, but
it's going to take forever just to get him out?
well, they have a shorter span for extraditing juveniles. I can't give you a time frame because it's when they submit the form, they have 5 days. I don't know how long that takes, and I don't want to lie, just making up a time. And so it's whenever the form is submitted, but they're generally very expeditious because there's not as many juveniles that are extradited. And so just by sheer numbers.
Ms. Chisholm, have you spoken to Mr. Damon here?
Yes, I have. And he, like I said, he's just 18. He just graduated out of high school and plans to go to PV. Had plans to go to PV, I believe.
To do what?
He had plans to go to PV, Prairie View. So, and for him, this is coming out of left field for him. So, I'm not entirely sure if we can get a time frame since he's not eligible for a waiver. Is that what I'm hearing, Mr. Day?
No,
eligible for a bond.
I'm sorry, for a bond. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Right, because the warrant was from 2023, but then he picked up an evading and then that was dismissed. And then he picked up a unlawful carrying of a weapon charge and that's still on bond, but it's still open. And so it didn't trigger until the second one made bond.
I would have a problem giving an 18-year-old a bond because I don't know how he would even get back to California. When I was 18, I didn't have a pot to piss in, much less get a ride all the way to California, it'd be tough. I mean, have you spoken to any family members, Ms. Oko?
I've got his mom's name is Maisha. I've not been able to reach out to her. Not just yet. But that's the only person that I've got so far for him. So unless he has another number for me to call.
Because I can't imagine he has money to,
And regardless, it's one of those, the cart before the horse, because he can't make the bond because he's not eligible because of the compact between the states. And
there's a lot of things at play now, Mr. Damon. One of the things that you have to understand is that you are a flight risk because you have a fugitive case from California. You're wanted out of California. So even if I set you a bond now, you would probably have to make almost 100% of it. There's no 10%, there's no 20% because you have a fugitive case. So it's not your typical bond that you would have. Not only that, if I were to set you a bond and you make it, we give you 2 weeks from the day that you're released to make it all the way back up to Sacramento. You're 18. I don't know if you have a means of being able to do that, and I don't know who you have in your life that's able to do that. But regardless, even with all that said, because you were a minor when all this happened, the interstate compact comes into play, and that may even prevent me from even setting a bond in this case. Okay, so there's a lot to figure out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you go back, talk to your lawyer, and then
Right, if he chooses not to waive today and he wants to refuse extradition, then I have to contact our liaison, who we have at the local offices here, and they will contact the offices out in California to start the requisition form to bring him over.
basically what we do here is we don't fight the underlying case. Like you're charged with robbery, you're also charged with another case out of Sacramento. What happened there, what's going on, that doesn't matter. The only thing that we're concerned about here is, are you Mr. Damon? That's what we fight here, identity, so to speak. So when people wave, it's, hey, that's not me. I'm a different John Smith. Here are my fingerprints, yada, yada. And so we try to figure out that. So that's what's going on here. Okay. If you refuse to waive extradition, we give that jurisdiction a limited amount of time to come pick you up. And if they don't come pick you up, we release you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you refuse extradition, if you refuse to waive, then essentially they're going to go back and they'll either get a governor's warrant, or because it's with the interstate compact, it's something completely
It's a different
different.
system. It's a requisition. It's equivalent to a governor's warrant in terms of forcing
And then
extradition.
that usually takes, are we still talking the 90 days?
I really don't know. That's why, because the last one was within a week. I mean, it's very, very quick because again, there's not a lot of interstate extradition for juveniles. And so it's a much, much smaller pool of people.
Because you were juvenile at the time and then turned the age of majority. It's a mess. Okay, so I'm gonna have you go back. I'll have you talk to your lawyer. You guys tell me what you want to do, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and then I'll have her advise you. Okay, all right, guys. Good luck,
Yes,
Mr.
I'll-
Johnson.
I'll-